For lesson 7-4, you will be subtracting linear expressions. Last section you were adding, this time you are subtracting. And so you're going to be able to subtract linear expressions and then solve some real world problems that involve subtracting linear expressions. Again, remembering those fundamental algebraic rules that we need to understand and apply so that we can solve problems but also understand some of those fundamental pieces so we can move forward in math courses to come. So in example 1, just like in the last lesson, there's those algebra tiles to show the model of how that looks. So 5x's and then plus 4. And if we're taking away 3 of those, that gets rid of those. And we're going to take away 2. This is where it confuses students because they see this plus 2. Well, that negative sign applies to the 3x and the 2. You're taking away both of them. So really pay attention to those negative signs. Those are the kind of errors that I still make to this day. Okay. Again, you can rearrange in columns if that makes it easier for you to see. Everyone has like a little bit different strategy, but I like to draw boxes. Okay. So in this case, we have 7x. And we have the negative 2x, and then we also have a negative times a negative, so that's a positive 1. Once I've distributed that, I can combine the like terms. So we have 7x, take away 2x, which is 5x, and then we have this negative 5 and this positive 1. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. 5x minus 4 is the answer to 1a. For 1b, again, I have that minus sign that not only applies to the 2x, but it also applies to the negative 4. So this one's pretty easy, minus 2x. But this is where we make our mistakes. A negative or take away a negative 4 turns into plus 4. So what we have is 6x minus 2x, which is 4x, and then we have minus 4 and plus 4, which is 0. So all we have left is 4x for 1b. At the top of page 311, we have another example using the algebra tiles. Okay, you can model those using the tiles and understanding how things cross each other out. A positive and a negative is a 0 pair. Okay, so again, seeing that a positive and negative cancels each other out. Okay, but if we look up here, 3x minus a negative 2x, that's a positive 2x. Okay, so what we have here is 5x total. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and the plus 2, and then the minus 1. Why do I have minus 1? Because that negative sign gets distributed to the 1 as well. So we have plus 2 minus 1. That leaves us a positive 1. So we have 5x plus 1 as a final. I don't feel like I explained that very well, but that's why we have the next couple of problems to try out here. Okay, so 2a doesn't look too different from the last problem. Negative 2x or minus 2x, negative or minus a negative 1 would turn into plus 1. Okay, so we have x minus 2x, which is negative 1x, or just negative x. And then we have negative 5 plus 1. Negative 5 plus 1 is minus 4. Okay, notice that I've been leaving this first binomial alone for right now because there's no negative sign out front. I can kind of ignore that for a second. This is what I want to pay attention to. The minus sign that gets distributed to the second binomial. So we have a negative 4m, which turns into a positive 4m. And a negative times a negative 1 turns into a positive 1. Now we can combine those like terms, 6m plus 4m is equal to 10m, and then plus 3 plus 1 is plus 4. So the answer to 2b is 10m plus 4. Going down to the bottom of page 311, there is a application of this concept, and you can look through the example and even watch the video tutorial if you need another explanation. And at the bottom of 3, got it section, after working X hours on Monday, Kay earns $9X. On Tuesday, she earns 7X plus $3. Write an expression to represent how much more she earned on Monday. Okay, so that would be 9X, what she earns on Monday, take away 7X plus 3. Okay, so 9X take away 7X is pretty simple, is 2X, but a lot of times students will just put down plus 3. Don't forget that that negative sign gets distributed to both, and so it's actually a negative 3, 2x minus 3 right here. That's the difference. If she worked 5 hours each day, how much more did she earn on Monday? So 5 hours each day. Let me check here how they're going to do that. We have 9 times 5 is 45, and we have 7 times 5, which is 35, plus 3 is 38. 45 minus 38 is $7. On the next page, page 312, I don't have any problems, but I did on your note sheet put an example, some problems I want you to work out. I think you can actually find it on one of the pages in this lesson. Oh, right here, page 313. It says evaluate each expression for A equals 8, B equals negative 4, and C equals negative 15. So ABC would be 8 times negative 4 times negative 15. Your answer will be a positive because we have 2 negatives. I would take 15 times 4, which is 60, and then 60 times 8 would be 480. For B times the quantity A plus C, that would be this one right here. B is negative 4, and then A is 8, and C is negative 15. You could distribute, since this is a numerical expression, you could distribute the negative 4 to both items and then add them together, or simply follow order of operations. 8 plus negative 15 is negative 7. Negative 4 times negative 7 is a positive 28. Okay, you would get that same answer if you took negative 4 times 8, which is negative 32, plus negative 4 times negative 15 is a positive 60. When you simplify that, you also get 28. Finally, 3AC times B, that's this one right here. 3 times the quantity A, 8, and C, negative 15, minus B, which is a negative 4. So right away, that's going to turn into a plus 4. And 3 times negative 15 is a negative 45. I don't know why I chose those two numbers to start with, but negative 45 times 8 is negative 360. Negative 360 plus 4 would be negative 356. Okay, feel free to do more of those problems, just practicing your operations with integers. And for your homework, make sure to do 2 through 20 evens, correct, and put your score at the top. Do level J, lesson V14, and level I, lesson R13 on IXL. And you also have an ed puzzle called Adding and Subtracting Linear Expressions in addition to your quiz for lesson 7-4.